Is Team Sonic Racing gonna have a Chao Garden? I'm gonna break it down for y'all right now. Hey everyone, it's RidersDX here and welcome to my channel where I cover all sorts of things Sonic and SpongeBob related. In this video I want to talk about a specific new character that was revealed to be in Team Sonic Racing. So if y'all didn't already know, Sega recently revealed 3 more characters that are going to be a part of Team Sonic Racing. These characters are Amy, Big, and Chao. That's right, I said it, Chao. More specifically, 4 Chao working together to drive a car. And these Chao are like, of course, the normal Chao, the hero Chao, the dark Chao, and Almanacho, the best Chao in the game. By the way, I'm really happy about Big being in the game. He actually was my #1 choice to be in the game in the video that I made on Team Sonic Racing where I went down the list of 5 specific characters that I wanted to see in the game. You can check out that video in the top right corner if you're interested. But back to the question at hand. I think it's really significant to see that we have Chao being a playable character in a Sonic game. When's the last time we've really seen Chao like have an important role in a game? Like, come on, think about it. I'll wait.
2 chili dogs to go, slow-mo on the double. Huh? I'm waiting.
Almost never. Like, come on, like never. Sega pretty much tossed the Chao away right after the Adventure series. Like, every now and then they would make like, what, cute cameos here and there, but never like a playable character or anything like a major part of the story. This was always a decision that baffled me because the Chao Garden was like one of the best additions I've seen in a 3D Sonic game. It adds so much replayability and it's also optional so people that don't want to play it don't have to play it, and it just adds so much more value to a game, and I just never understood why Sega stopped designing. Not even in Sonic 06, which was a so-called spiritual successor of the Sonic Adventure series. And I do mean so-called.
It's no use! This will end it!
But before I go on any further, let me just briefly explain what a Chao is for those people who might be new to the Sonic series or are just unfamiliar with the greatest treasures of the series. Chao are basically these little creatures that made their first appearance in Sonic Adventure on the Dreamcast, and to top off like having Sonic actually be in a 3D platformer for the very first time, they also included this let's say like almost like a second game where you basically went into this garden like area and you would raise and hatch these Chao and you would feed them animals and food to level up their skills and keep them happy. It basically was like a pet simulator. Now that I think about it and say it out loud, it actually sounds very weird feature to be in a Sonic game, but this complemented both the adventure games really well because it was an optional thing. You didn't have to go into it, but if you did go into it, it made exploration and destroying enemies very valuable because every enemy you destroy, they're either popped up like an animal or a chaos drive from them, and you could use these to level up your characters. I mean your Chao, sorry. And you also got to use your rings that you collected in the stages to buy things in the Chao Garden so that you could further customize your garden or give your Chao things that you wouldn't normally be able to get. It was just a really great way to complement the 2 different gameplay styles and add more replay value in the adventure games. There were all sorts of different kinds of Chao that you could raise in both of these games. You know, you could raise different appearing Chao depending on whether you give them more of a swimming trait or a power trait, flying or running, and you could also make them either hero or dark Chao, so that just further varied up like their appearances. And also there was a bunch of Chao that you could get from like special cheat codes that resembled characters in the series. It was just a whole lot of fun. There's just so many things you could do, and you know, just thinking about it now, there's so much depth and care put into these Chao Gardens. It's amazing how Sonic Team were able to design this while designing a whole nother game. You know, the main game itself, you know, the main storylines, the main gameplay series, the story cutscenes. There was just so much that they put into these 2 games for like the very first 3D venture of Sonic. So the fact that Sega have made the Chao a playable character in a Sonic game, and actually have probably gotten rid of Cream also. Poor Cream.
Guys, what's wrong? Our favorite program won't be on next week. Is that all?
It's really significant because the Chao have not made like a big appearance in the games. Actually, I felt like the Wisps kind of replaced them, which I was really pissed about because I'm not a big fan of the Wisps. Wisps. I can't pronounce it. I'm sorry. But wouldn't a Chao Garden in Team Sonic be perfect? Like, come on. First of all, you have what? 14 other characters, well 15 if you include the Chao, but you have like all these characters that you could put in a Chao Garden and have them raise Chao. It would just be the most perfect setting for a Chao Garden because you could collect rings or maybe like special items like on the racetracks, and then in a Chao Garden you could go ahead and use all those things to raise your Chao. And I just think it'd be a really cool opportunity just because of how many characters there are going to be, even if it's only going to be 15, which I'm still not that happy about. I can't believe a racing game is only going to have 15 characters. Like, that's unheard of. Now, whether or not Team Sonic Racing actually has a Chao Garden, I'm going to say no. It's probably not going to happen. It's probably just in my wildest dreams. But I still think the fact that they have Chao as a character in the game is really significant, and we could see a Chao Garden in a future Sonic game. First of all, Sega have more recently been listening to fans, and as you can see from like Sonic Mania for example, like that game is pretty much like all fan service. Like adding Mighty and Ray into that game is totally fan service. I mean, I don't think Sega would have ever done it unless fans didn't ask for it. I feel like Sega is at this point in the Sonic series where they are trying to win back older fans. Like that's why there's been so much like classic Sonic pandering. But I think as more years pass, we're starting to get to that point where adventure fans are old fans too. Like now the adventure games are starting to become part of like their own little classic era. And you know, I already see Sega trying to pander to the adventure fans with Team Sonic Racing. For example, having Crush 40 do the theme song, like that's already a clear example of Sega trying to pander to the adventure fans. So I think having this combined with the fact that Sega just seems to be listening to fans more and trying to appeal to older fans a lot more often, we may actually see a Chao Garden appear in a future Sonic game. I don't believe we're going to see one in Team Sonic Racing. I just don't think Sumo Digital is interested in making one, and obviously I feel like their resources from the looks of it seem to be tight enough, so I just don't think they have the time to design a Chao Garden in a racing game. But I can totally see it happening in a future Sonic game, and I think the future is bright for our really cute little friends. So what do y'all think? Are y'all excited about seeing Chao being a playable character in the game? And if y'all want to see the Chao Garden back in the Sonic game, let me know in the comment section below what you want to see in a brand new Chao Garden if Sega decides to bring the Chao Garden back in the main Sonic game. Make sure you give this video a thumbs up if you liked it. If I get a good response to this video, I may consider making a follow-up video about what I think Sega should do to a Chao Garden in terms of like new things they could add, maybe make some changes from the old ones. Like I would be willing to make a video about that if you all are interested in that. And of course, subscribe to my channel because I make videos like this every single week. So if you want to keep up to date with Sonic and SpongeBob, then go ahead and click that big red button because we all love that big red button. But okay, that is everything. RidersDX is out. Bye bye.